All right, hello and welcome. Have you ever wished you had a time machine? Well, today we're going to build one with grammar. We're going to learn how to travel into the past using just our words.
So let me ask you something. Do you want to be able to tell a great story? About what you did yesterday or that amazing vacation you took last year? Of course you do. That's how we connect with people, right? By sharing our experiences.
And to tell those stories, well, you've got to be able to travel back in time with your words. And that is exactly what we're going to get good at today. We're talking about the simple past tense.
So what exactly is the simple past? It's pretty straightforward, actually. We use it to talk about actions that are completely 100% finished. They started in the past, they ended in the past. It's a done deal. Over.
Like for instance, I visited my grandmother yesterday. See, the visit is over. It's completely done. We even know when it happened, yesterday. It's a complete finished memory.
Or how about this one? She watched a movie last night. Same idea, right? The action, watching the movie, is finished. It's in the past. We know what had happened. Super simple.
Okay, so we know what our time machine does. Now let's talk about how to actually power this thing up. And really, it all comes down to one thing: changing our verbs into their past tense forms.
So think of it like this. Our time machine runs on two kinds of fuel. First, you've got your regular verbs. These are the easy ones. They're predictable, they follow the rules. But then, you've got the irregular verbs. These guys are the rebels. They do their own thing and have their own special forms.
Let's start with the easy stuff, the regular verbs. For most of these, all you have to do is just add ed to the end. That's it. So play becomes played, clean becomes cleaned, easy peasy. This is going to be your main rule.
Now, there are just a couple of tiny spelling rules to keep in mind, but they're no big deal. If a verb already ends in an E, like love, you just add the D to make loved. And if it ends in a consonant plus a Y, like study, you swap that Y for an I and then add ed. So study becomes studied.
All right, time to talk about those rebels, the irregular verbs. These guys completely ignore the ed rule. They just transform. So go becomes went. Have becomes had. Eat becomes ate. Yeah, you kind of just have to memorize these, but trust me, you'll pick up the most common ones in no time. Okay, you've got the basics down. You know how to travel to the past. Now it's time for the advanced controls. How to talk about something that didn't happen and how to ask questions about the past. So for negative sentences, saying something didn't happen, there's one magic word you absolutely have to know. And that word is didn't. It's just short for did not, and honestly, it does all the hard work for you.
Check this out. A positive sense is, she cleaned her room. Simple enough. But look at the negative. She didn't clean her room. Now this is super important. Did you notice what happened? When you use didn't, the main verb, clean, goes right back to its original simple form. Why? Because didn't is already doing all the past tense work for you.
And guess what? The exact same logic applies when you're asking questions. We just use the helper word did right at the beginning. So the formula is super simple. Did, then the subject, then, you guessed it, the base form of the verb.
For example, did you visit your friend yesterday? See, visit is back in its original form, not visited. And the answers couldn't be easier. Yes, I did, or no, I didn't. That's all there is to it. So the big question is, how do you know when to use the simple past? Well, think of it like setting the dials on your time machine. You just need to look for a few key clues, specific words that are basically signals telling you to travel to the past.
And here it is, your time machine's dashboard. When you see words like yesterday, last night, 2 days ago, or a specific past year like in 2020, those are your giant flashing signs. They're screaming at you, use the simple past.
Whew, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's pull all this together into one simple, handy reference guide. Think of this as your pilot's manual for the time machine.
Okay, this table right here is your cheat sheet. It boils everything down. Remember the core idea. For a positive statement, you change the verb to the past. But for negatives and questions, you just use didn't or did, and the main verb stays in its simple base form. That is the whole system right there.
And just like that, you are officially a licensed time traveler. So to get you started on your first journey, I'm going to leave you with one final question. I want you to really think about it and maybe even say the answer out loud. Ready? What did you do yesterday?